Introduction. For most of my life, I believed I was a musician. That was the story, and for a long time it felt like a good one. It gave shape to things. It gave direction. It carried me into places I could never have imagined as a boy sitting beside a river with a fishing rod. Music came early. It felt natural, sometimes effortless, sometimes mysterious. Sound became a kind of language for me, a way of touching something that words seemed unable to reach. Over the years, music gave me a life, concerts, recordings, collaborations, and moments of real beauty. And yet, somewhere along the way, something quieter began to stir. It didn't announce itself. It was not a revelation. It was more like a subtle question that refused to disappear. A sense that what I was really drawn to in music was not only the notes themselves, but the space they arose from and returned to. At first I assumed this was simply a deepening of musicianship, a refinement of sensitivity. But gradually it became clear that something else was unfolding. The listening was shifting. It was no longer only outward toward sound. It was turning inward toward the silence in which sound appears. There seemed to be a stillness that did not begin when the music began and did not end when it faded. A presence that was there before the first note and remained after the last. I would not have called it awareness at the time. I didn't have a language for it. I only knew that something more intimate than music itself was quietly revealing itself through the music. So this book is not a philosophy. It's simply a reflection on how a life in sound gradually opened into something deeper and more ordinary than I could ever have imagined. Music may have been the path, but silence, it seems, was always the greater teacher. So what follows is not a story of attainment. If anything, it's a story of something falling away, the image of a musician, the sense of being the doer, the idea of being someone moving towards something. What remains is simpler than any story. So if there's anything to take from these pages, maybe it's this. What you are listening for has always been here.